Hello, my two-dimensional 180-degree friends. That's right, the last stream I was just doing a second ago was in VR by accident, but here we are in the real world where everything's just on the one screen. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just going to finish off the TA. Just after doing a big old stream there, I'm going to finish off the TA that I had meant to do, and then I'm going to say cheerio to everybody, okay? So if you join me for this one, fantastic. If you don't, because YouTube no longer puts out notifications or something like that because I've done too many videos today, well, that's okay. Thank you very much for giving me confirmation that everything's working again, by the way, Tony. Really do appreciate it. So, like I was saying, how far into it did we get? Did we do the .btc one or not? And did you see any of it? I was trying to give everybody the idea that, of course, you know, consolidation at an area of resistance is something that isn't talked about in any textbooks really or anything anywhere else in the world, but it certainly has a good impact in terms of the charts. A couple of reasons for that, you know, as we look over to the left, we can see on the weekly time frame that we've come higher and closed higher than our previous highs. We haven't taken out that wick over there, and we have this big wick down here, and if as part of this most recent period of consolidation. You didn't know I didn't get the .btc. You've worked hard tonight, mate. That's okay, cool, man. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll just do a wee bit real quick. The real areas I'm looking to in terms of the range of this thing is if we do crack down towards the downside, we're looking at this previous wick overall here on it. Now, I know the parabolic SAR has us coming in here and not wanting to go down as far as that. That's totally fine. I likewise wouldn't hold on to longs, and I want to point out there's three areas of risk for people when they're trading. There's A, B and C here, right? Okay, so this is like your apples, your oranges, and your pears. They're very, very, very different. Don't try and conflate the three of them together. There's a couple of different moves that you could be looking to with regards to this recent period of price action, and because we're consolidating, it gives us a good possibility of being able to really properly crack above our previous all-time highs here, and that would be looking up towards the 70 area, the 0.0007 or 0.00069 to be honest with you. Now that's a little bit much, of course, it's a little bit greedy, but that's where it could be going. Likewise, towards the downside, you could be looking down as low as 40, and that's going to be important. I did explain a whole bunch of stuff previously, but tired now and all that sort of stuff, right? Jumping down the way, yeah, I'm back, Kevin. I just didn't want to you know, abandon ship again. You know, people thought I was being like only somebody who doesn't know me at all would think that I would just I don't care, you know, I care too much. If anything, I care too much, which is why I'm back here again, really overall. So yeah, I'm in that mode where I'm caring too much. I'm going to have to say cheerio, but I want to give everybody a big thanks and everything for tuning in as well. Binance has just announced staking at 23%. Wow. Wow. Okay, so there we go. That's amazing. That's amazing stuff. Right, so here we have the dot charts. This is what we're looking at. We're consolidating in a what was that? Tommy V just subscribed. Oh, that's cool. It was worth coming back then in a sense. Thanks very much, Tommy. So we're looking at this dot chart and saying that we could, you know, be seeing this consolidation at an area of resistance as being extremely important for Umaraja just subscribed. Well, that's also awesome. Thanks very much for that. That we could be seeing that this is important, and it's really, really, really good to see it. If you go look on the internet and ask, you know, for instance, does anybody ever talk about things like does anybody ever talk about things like consolidation at resistance, like I just searched for a minute ago actually as I was doing this, then you'll find that it's very rarely spoken about where you get consolidation at resistance. If you look at the overall schema things, people like to talk about how people you know, there's upper and lower bounds of an asset's price, and that resistance levels and resistance levels within a consolidation whatever. You often see people talking about this in a way that doesn't really cover this concept. If you're consolidating at a point where there was previous resistance, it's worth pointing out that, you know, we've got that wick, we've got the body closures, and the consolidation here is what gives us enough strength perhaps to go towards the top side should we need it. We're seeing down here on the 3 hour time frame the 4-hour time frame, that we're getting a bit of this whole volatility on the go here, giving us an idea that there could be a jump up the way. I'd also point out the fact, or down the way. I'd also point out the fact that if we were to see that, it could come in with a nice retest of this area thereafter in the near enough future, because you so often see things like that happen, as we saw in the past. For instance, the last time it went white and flashed like that, it dropped down the way, came back up, and that was when you next found your inflection and support and resistance in at the price at which this ended. Likewise, we could see the same sort of thing here, and that would just look like, from the broad scheme of things, a retest of an area of support and resistance, or as indeed of a pattern, formerly a pattern that we broke out of. Now, this is a downward slope here that we see here, very much distinctly downward here in the 24-hour time frame. That's what you're getting during this period of consolidation. Now, that gives you the chance for this oscillator to simply just kind of reset itself. That's a collection of moving averages, and if we were to look at moving averages on the chart, then you would see that they would probably just be also given a chance to kind of reset. We don't want to be taking any of them out, but I'm not going to go into extreme detail over here. I've kind of done a lot of extreme detail. Is that sustainable though? I think the more people will stake, the lower the percent rate will be. Absolutely, I also agree. Very much, and it's exactly what we've seen happen. For instance, we've seen various mechanisms on Binance over the last wee while in terms of savings and locked staking and all sorts of different things, where they start off with high rates and then it drops down the way, especially once people get locked in. So if there's if you know, on the one hand, if they're promising that up to people and they're going to sustain it, that's good. We have seen some coins out there manage to sustain their high rates. So the likes of OneCoin has done quite a good job on Binance of sustaining high APR rates, whereas we've also seen the likes of, say, Band started off with very, very, very high rates, dropped all the way down, and Drep, is that another one? Various other ones where you see the rates changing quite a bit. So yeah, is it sustainable or not though? That is a good question. Good research, by the way, though, and finding that out for us. Yeah, cool. So how about we just give a quick summary episode here with Dot, and I'll run through the rest of I'll do a rest of those little snippet videos, and then call it a day, right? Okay, so we'll start off here with Dot. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. My name's Rocky Outcrop. This is quick Dot technical analysis. Up here I have the Dot Bitcoin chart, and we're going to be looking at this and the USDT chart to try and see if there is anything really interesting going on here, and I think there actually is for us to look at. At the minute, we're consolidating at a point of resistance. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look over to the left, we can see this is where our previous all-time highs were. That's a wick. In terms of body closures, we have actually managed to supersede those, but we haven't taken out the actual absolute dollar value price, and that area up above represents a sort of fake out, or indeed the 60% textbook measured move of a breakout from this triangle that we're in at the minute. If we do go down towards the downside, similar sort of setup with regards to this big wick that we had here, showing us the way for indeed the textbook move, or indeed fake out, if you like, from the full measured move off the back of this triangle. What is that measured move? Well, it is like this. If I drop it in here, you can see that that actually takes us up as high as 70 towards the top side. Indeed, if we were to go down, it could go as far down as 30. But like I say, then we have these other key areas along the way before to offer up some potential support and resistance should we need it. Consolidating at a line of support is obviously, or resistance is obviously very, very, very good for the price action, because it gives a good chance for the oscillators to reset. As we can see over here, the oscillators such as the DMI getting a little bit of a downward slope recently, but if this were to go towards the top side, it gives us a great load of room to run towards the upper area. Looking at where we came up before, then obviously we put in this high, which wasn't quite higher than our previous all-time high overall, and that is a perfect time to do that consolidation. Let these reset, cool off a little bit, then potentially blast up the way. As you can see, that is very much the possibility that is on the cards. Looking at the RSI, you can see that we've got lows coming in here, giving us that hidden bullish divergence, if you want to look at it in that way. Now, this isn't a strictly speaking, in this period we're consolidating and not really trending in one way or the other, but there's always a bit of overlap, and there's your hidden bullish divergence for you. Maybe there are some insights to be had in that sense. Looking then on over towards the dollar pricing and seeing how this thing lines up, because it is of course very, very, very interesting as well what we're seeing over here at the minute. Just let me sort out my oscillators, and as you can see, this is obviously very much hidden bullish divergence that we have on the go at our previous low, having come in so far up towards our highs that we wanted to see. Now we're coming up towards 2.618. That's the next profit taken target, having carried out all of the previous ones. Moving this up the way, we can see that so long as we stay above this price point of overall $20.02, we're doing pretty well. I also have another .USDT chart, and I'm not sure what where that I did all these drawings on at, so this is highly annoying for me. Was it Binance that I did them on? Yes, and wonderful stuff overall here. This is great. This is where we have all of the key insights for us. Let me just show you that so long as, again, as we stay above the over here, as we're looking between this previous low. This doesn't work as one of those episodes. Tired, but I'll just edit it and make it work, right? Okay, cool. I'll just make it work. By the way, thanks very much for tuning in, Alex. You lost me, mate, but I appreciate the level of detail. That's cool. I know, I get it, right? I felt that myself before I read your comment. It's not working, it's not working, right? I'll do it again. And this time I'll do it the other way around. Hi friends, DOT versus USDT, DOT versus BTC, both of which examined here. Key insights, excellent stuff for you to know. Drop me a like if you like what you see. I really like it when people do that. This is, of course, the DOT USDT chart to begin with overall here. So long as we stay above $21 or $21 to $22, we're doing okay. That coincides more or less with the lower end of this wedge. The price action is actually in a rising wedge. That's okay to be in. It is a slightly negative pattern in terms of statistics, but the strong overall bullish market might just see us get favor and see things move towards the top side. You could have looked at this area that I'm currently deleting things at around about as having been a head and shoulders or something like that before, which failed, and we see it failing when it took out the previous shoulder area, dropping down towards the 4-hour time frame to make that a bit clearer for you. Well, best laid plans and all that didn't quite work out. But then this is also looking like a diamond area as well. Diamonds identified by having this higher highs and lower lows in a period of consolidation following on from this flagpole on the way up. Puts in a couple of different targets. Overall, the targets that we're looking at for this thing take us up as high as $35. Now, if you want to go on beyond that, there is a $40 type target, but what we're really looking for here is $35 and $30 as our two upside targets, and this is lovely to see as a possibility. Now, we could see a retrace from this area, having got bearish divergence in at this high, but the bullish divergence here, which I'm pointing out, maybe is the thing that we need to see happening to bring us up higher. If we had three different types of ways of trading this zone, you've got the sensible way where you actually trade it off the breakout, perhaps playing after a retest of the previous support. Is there anything to give you the clue that you might have a retest of it here? And looking down the way, well, we're not seeing volatility. Fuck it again. Sorry, excuse me, right. Hi friends, Rocky.outcrop here. Drop me a like if you like what you see. This is DOT versus USDT and DOT versus BTC. We're going to see some big moves happening soon. I'm here to bring you that news. There's three ways of trading the USDT chart at the minute. I've got three potential trades for you. If you're looking to trade within the range, that's probably in many ways a sensible way of doing things. I'm not a financial advisor, none of this is financial advice, but this is how you would do that. If you're looking to trade the full potential measured move off the bottom of the wedge, going past the whole of the range of the wedge and then carrying that all the way up towards the breakout, this is what you'd be looking at as well here on the right. Feel free to draw these things in your own chart, but just looking at the middle line of this one, you're talking about $21 up towards the profit taking line of around about $35. It's not stopping out until you're seeing 18. Sensibler would be, of course, here in this Goldilocks zone, looking to trade the range between the $20, $21 up towards profit taken in there at $25 if we see a pullback. And then if you want to play off the back of a move outside of the wedge, then it would be nice to see us get a retest and then even an extra double confirmed entry. But if not, overall this is you're looking up towards the $20 or the $33, stopping out if you were to see the prices drop down below 21, 22, but then of course happy enough to take the trade in around about the $24 area, presuming that we get a breakout there with a degree of volume. Looking at the oscillators down below, we see that there's bearish divergence here as we've been putting in these highs, so maybe we'll see a retrace face down to fill in this wedge, and that would be fair enough and nice to see in a sense, because as well we have this hidden bullish divergence giving us a really nice possibility to get that continued move towards the top side. Overall, you could say this is giving the chance for the oscillators to cool off a wee bit, as we're seeing with the no sure thing indicator at the minute having certainly cooled off. A nice cross here would be lovely, especially if it came in with one of these support areas. But then jumping on over towards the Bitcoin pairing for this one, there's a few things I'd like to point out. Namely, we are actually consolidating at a point of resistance. Here you can see we have a triangle on the go, and looking back in the past you can see that the point of resistance is marked out there by the all-time highs. Now the all-time highs were a wick up there. The body closures we have actually managed to supersede so far, so very much very good in terms of closing out higher than we've ever closed before. But actually as well, we're looking at this and saying that what we need to do is break above that zone. This can constitute a fake out move for us. Consolidating at a point of resistance is very good, and it's pointing out is it gives you the chance to cool off those oscillators like I pointed out a second ago on the USDT charts. You could see other people talk about this as being a potential head and shoulders with a neckline in here. I'm not really liking that idea overall, but of course if we did see that happen, you're looking at a similar measured move, because the girth of this thing between the head and the neckline, so to speak, is of course the same as the triangle anyway. There's always a good degree of overlap. Perhaps is worth looking out for that in your own trading. As you can see here on the DMI indicator, one of my favorite indicators, is of course a very complicated one. If you want to know more about that, I have a video about it in my education section of my channel. If you want to support this channel, by the way, you can do so over at patreon.com/rocky.outcrop. Drop a like and a subscribe if you want to too. Then we can see here that we've had a tailing off of the overall upward strength, and that is fine overall should we actually see a break coming towards the top side. Is there anything that might give us a clue that that could be the case? Well, jumping on down towards the 4 hour, we can see that my DMI shaded background has gone white, giving us a good clue that we might see the prices go and start to move rapidly with a bit of a bigger true range perhaps than they've had of late. I would like to point out the fact that if we did see a movement then outside of the range of this thing off the back of that volatility, it would be quite likely that you get a retest of the pattern, not least of which because that's typical in patterns, but because as well that volatility indicator showing us on the DMI that that's very much the case. If you want to get access to that, it's absolutely possible. Join the Discord and I'll tell you how to get it, no problem, and that is totally cool. And if you want to join me for more TA in the future, I'd love to have you be a part of the family. So long as prices stay above 40, we're pretty good. And prices break above 62, absolutely wonderful. I'd like to see the move happening around about 54 here, going 000 before all of those numbers, of course. That's going to do for this one. Let's move on to take a look at the other coins that I wanted to look at today. Check out my channel for lots more technical analysis. I'm tired. I need to stop. I really do. I need to stop. Hold me back, folk. Hold me back. Right. Hi friends, looking at Cardano over here. If you like what you see, drop me a like. I like it when you do that. This is of course the 24-hour Cardano chart, and I want to point out that so long as we stay above this red line here where this arrow is, that's the 236, this green line here as well, 72 cents, then we are looking pretty rosy. The parabolic SAR on the 24-hour time frame is a little bit further away than I would like to tolerate. Looking down towards the 12-hour, we can see that this actually lines up fairly nicely with that 236. Again, that's probably a decent area to manage your risk. Breaking past that, then I would look for further continuation, perhaps as far as this red line here at 60 or beyond, perhaps going down towards 49 or indeed 36, 37. This is where the golden pocket is, at this white line. If we do see a big retracement, this would be the typical area to see that going towards, and would be a fantastic buy area if what I'm hearing about 24% staking on Binance is true and FOMO really truly doubles down on this one and it goes even further. Now of course we've not seen any sorts of retraces that are really disgusting as yet. Things are looking pretty good. We're quite frequently getting 10 and 20% retraces though, so there's always a better opportunity to buy in. For instance, we've seen the highs today up at 92 and the lows today down at 87, which is not, a huge retrace, but there's a bit of girth here. If we see things dropping down past these points, then I don't even know. Do I even want to publish that? I don't even know. I honestly, at this point, I don't know. Right, that's it. Screw it. At this point, I don't know if there's any value to be had. I've gone on for too long. I'm just going to catch up with you in the chat there. By the way, Kron and BTC, I will not be checking out your suggested coin. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I already did a 3-hour live stream already today, so you know I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to instead I'm just going to just going to focus on the community that's already part of the community. I'm sorry, my friend. If you want to join the Discord and get to know me a wee bit, that's probably a good first step towards getting coins done for free. Otherwise, tip me $10. If you tip me $10 right now, then I'll do the TA for you. Otherwise, all the best. Wish you all the best and good luck with your trading out there. Absolutely, really genuinely do wish you the best. I think people could vouch for me that I mean it when I say it. Looking here at the chat, XRP, people saying Manuel, that's cool. Okay. Hey Alex, it's been a real incredible few hours. I think we're all really tired. LOL, stick with us for the next week or two. Join the Discord. Yeah, absolutely. Discord link will be in the description down below. If it isn't already, then if it isn't there, then let me see. Yes, TradeSpot shared it. Fantastic. So you've got that. Let's do this, says Rufflecopter Wash. I love your name, by the way. Rufflecopter goes wash. How good is that? Ooh, TradeSpot on. Yes, that's it. Fantastic. Thank you so much. He did. Good man. K-Doc, I happen to have it on my clipboard. Oh, wonderful. I was eating Costco croissants, so now my screen's buttery. Oh, buttery croissants, buttery thing. Costco, tell you what, that's one hell of a shop, isn't it? I love their carrot cake, which, shops sell for ridiculous rip-off prices. Just head out to Costco, buy a carrot cake, open up a cafe, you're flying. At least that was the business model between 2010 and 2014, probably. I don't know. Or maybe a bit earlier than that. Maybe I've got my dates wrong. Lanoprazole for the win. Which one is that? Is that Lemsip? Is that the thing in there? Is that something else? I don't know. Check out thingy. That's like I say, Cron BTC. Not. I'm sorry, mate. It's not happening. I mean, I could even do my Cardano video here, but it's probably not happening. Thanks for hitting like, by the way, K-Doc. Really do appreciate it. Tony, what's your chat? You're saying Rocky there. Have I missed something? TradeSpot, and you almost made me drop my croissant. That sounds like the right. Great, excellent. So let me just see. Goat Ninja, love your work, joined your Patreon. My god, Goat Ninja. See, now this is it. This is fantastic. Thank you so much to everybody. Really do appreciate it. Again, keep me informed, let me know what needs to happen for me to be able to invite more people to do that. Red velvet cake at Costco is the best. Well, okay, we all get our opinions, and that's fair enough. I do like a carrot cake myself because I love a bit of that icing. Red velvet cake, I love a bit of that. Chocolate cake. You know what? To be honest with you, it's really hard for me to choose a favorite cake. I like coffee cake. Anything cake, I like any type of cake. What type of cake do I not like? If there was a Marmite cake, I wouldn't like that, but that's about it. But I'd certainly give it a shot. Rocky, look at your FTTC before you go. Okay. Where is the Ethereum Bitcoin one? Ethereum Bitcoin. By the way, if you're just tuning us, the reason why I'm saying that is because I got asked earlier on, would you sooner do Ethereum or Bitcoin if you had 10 grand to put into something right now? So we did TA on it. Where's the chart that I had the drawing on though? This isn't it, is it? This isn't it. Well, look at that. It's done it. It's done the full measure. It's done the target clearly. That's fantastic. Well done. Where did my chart go? Which one did I use? I wish I knew just by looking at which chart was which. That's not it. That's the wrong one anyway. I wonder what exchange I was on when I drew that in. God, how annoying, right? How annoying. Was it Coinbase? Nope. Did I delete it? I don't know. Wow, though. Was it just... It was... I don't know. Lol. I'm a few pints deep at the moment, says Trey. Good. Nice one. Excellent. So I need to go and do that sort of thing. Go eat food and all the rest of it. I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that. I'm second in, Tony, just to wake me up. Second pint in, or second slice of cake in, I wonder. God, I could do with a slice of that red velvet cake. You really got me going. I'm actually hungry now. I'm about to play the hell out of this guitar as soon as I get trading off the brain. Sorry for extending that so much. You're going to play your guitar? I love it when people share their creativity, by the way. If you want to do anything like that ever, then feel free to do it in the Discord. If anybody has any sort of problem with it, I'll just boot them. Don't worry about it. People in my environment are free to share their creativity without ever feeling any sense of being put down or judged negatively or any of that sort of stuff. So if you do actually record music, be sure to share it. I'd love to hear it. Tony saying let's jam. Tony's a musician himself. He's a really good, he's good at coming up with like joke songs on the at the time as well. So he's like improv style as well, which is fun. It's just cool. So let's jam. You know, you'd have a laugh jamming with him. I see Ventilis saying, "Hey Rocky, just info. I don't need the TA. I learn a lot watching from you." DHT, look it up. It's a traditional proven idea on blockchain. DHT. Okay, cool. Let's do it. DHT. So it's not this thing on the NYSE, right? So it's not DHT Holdings. It's like this Huobi coin, for instance. Woo, interesting. But this isn't what you meant. You meant look it up, so as in find out the information about it. So obviously it's moved quite a bit today. The volatility is real on this one. Looking at the 24-hour time frame, hit the auto button to make it visible a bit quicker. Wasn't much of a success. Cool. Obviously at this point, you know, you see when you're on the 24-hour time frame. I know you don't need info, by the way, buddy. I'm just looking at this, and it's one of these instances which is worth pointing out. When you're on a 24-hour time frame and you see a wick like this, as formation like this, right? It's worth just checking in on a lower time frame and seeing if you have one of those head and shoulders. You know. So if I jump over to the 1 hour time frame just now, then maybe in around this zone you could consider that, and this as being like a head, and this area as being like a shoulder. Now that was just a tiny little throwaway thing. This is actually a pretty bad example of that idea, but I wanted to point that out since I just saw it there and it immediately occurred to me. Of course, we are seeing that we have come in for a lower high so far, and that's given us I'm not going to do the TA on this one. It's so tempting, isn't it? It's so tempting. I'm just like constantly like Artie Pyle. I need to get rid of the TA and get on with like guitar and stuff like that. I'm down, Tony. I've been studying Josh Smith lately. That's cool. So I honestly don't know what you mean by that, but I'm assuming that it's a guitarist or some musician or something like that, and it'd be interesting to see. I'm usually like a broken clock, right twice a day, lol, so I try to limit my opinions, lol, says Kevin. Well, that's all you really need to be, you know, if you're going to be right every so often, but really right, you know, really, really right. Hell yeah, right. Imagine we had a band. Yeah, it'd be quality, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be quality to have a band as part of the thing? Oh, big shout out to Who Let the Bulls Out earlier on, by the way, who shared his music here in the channel. And since we're talking about music and being creative and everything else, let me just jump on over to the chat here and share his SoundCloud again for anybody else who's interested. There's one of the Outcropticians, and by the way, another Outcroptician who has music on YouTube is a guy called Fritham, F-R-Y-T-H-Y-M. If you want to look him up on YouTube, you can as well. It's got lo-fi beats if you like them as well. So like, there's I love it when people share their creativity, and I'm always happy here to support and reshare information. But that's what it said. What you're saying here, my chart says XRP is a buy. Not that I would be buying it, just that the MACD is giving a perfect buy signal. What time frame are you looking at on that, by the way, TradeSpot? So I can just point this out on the chart. I suspect I know what you're kind of getting at when you say that. So I'm just wanting to see how that lines up here as well. Looking at DHT, thanks for the heads up, by the way, for everybody. Have a good weekend, peeps. Peace out. I love it, K-Doc. Yeah, exactly. Happy Sunday, K-Doc. Happy Sunday. Hope you... What am I looking at here? XRP. Oh yeah, obviously I was making a point there. I think I was making a point of some sort on a show one time. To do with that high. I really wanted to make that point. I think I probably succeeded. lols. So anyway, oh, a heart that came in here, so that was a good buy zone. Oh, a warning sign in here, so that was a good sell zone. So perfect. In terms of getting to where we got to now, my previous technical analysis has obviously hit a home run with Ripple, so that's lovely to see as ever. But let me just bring up the oscillators down below and spread out the MACD a bit so that it's actually visible again as ever. I'm going to have to send an email to TradingView complaining about their MACD problems at the minute. It's really annoying me. And put the signal and MACD line on here. So let me see, 30 minutes, yo. So on the daily time frame, that signal that would have been the perfect one actually came in over here. Funnily enough, it did get a full retest of that afterwards. So you know, it's all about managing your positions along the way as you go. In terms of the 30-minute time frame, we're seeing a little cross just here. So we're getting a cross here just below the neutral line. We've got a bit of a we've got, what's this, hidden bullish divergence on the go. So perfect. Hidden bullish divergence coincide with a nice cross at a good place for them to cross. I would prefer to see it cross ever so slightly lower, but there it is. And then if we stick on these moving averages, then you'll see that for confirmation of being above the two, and I don't even need to, sorry, I don't need to stick on the moving averages. I mean, it's a blind man could see that if I were to just go back over the period of the last 200 candles, that obviously recurrently price action is well above the previous average. I mean, it's obvious. So we're in a position for a good buy there on that one. Excellent if people are looking for that. I'm not personally trading it myself, but if you want to, then you can. 1,203 exit for me. Sats, of course. Oh, Leroy Jenkins. 1,203 sats, of course. Yeah, cool, nice one. So you're doing great. That's fantastic. You were trading against Bitcoin. You've made a grand. You've got some satoshis. You banked your profits. You're doing really well. Really great blues vibe you said earlier on. That's fantastic. Excellent. That's cool. I'll have to look him up. I'm assuming you're talking about your man. By the way, I could be a stage manager. You know, I've done that professionally in the past. That's exactly it. I mean, we've got all the pieces here. We've got all the pieces here to make a band, but you've all heard it here. You know that I can't sing. You know that I do sing and that I would sing, but you know that I can't sing, despite trying to all the time on the show. If you're watching the dot technical analysis, when I first went on to the dot USDT chart earlier on, I did the USDT as a cover of that Beach Boys song. That's right, Artie. I don't mind the microphone. I don't shy away from it too much. Having lost all of my dignity one time years and years ago, never to have found it again. Mate, you can only ever be one note away from the wrong place. What are we talking about now? We're talking about jazz. We're talking about blues. We're talking about my singing voice, because like Tony, the guy is incredible. I'm a big blues guy. I love the incorporation of jazz moves into the blues. Love the resolve from hitting the wrong note and cleaning it up. Tasty. Oh, that's cool. That's nice that people, I mean, improvisation skills are really difficult to get. For a lot of people, it's just talent, right? And that's cool. They were born with it. That's a bit unfair, but they just essentially, I think, in my opinion, is that they learned all these lessons in a different way indirectly when they were a kid, from just like having to like overcome challenges and stuff like that, and that leads to great improvisation skills. But if you can do that in your music, then it's wonderful, and it's such a pleasure to listen to. So yeah, auto tune, no need to be able to sing. Just RE says just like the mic. Okay, cool. Actually, there we go. We're in line for a band. Oh my gosh, you want to hear it? There's gambler Kenny Rogers. Oh God, I actually did it. I did it. Tony, look, right? I did it. I did it, right? There was a challenge. I met the challenge. I did it. You know, I was supposed to sing. It's on YouTube somewhere. It's not hidden. I'm not going to go find it though. I'm not going to go look it up and expose myself. But there you go. For sure, knowing how to clean it up is what separates the guitarists from the players. Alexa, play Stevie. No. That was a real FU San Diego moment coming up for me right there. Rave on. Right, yeah, I tell you what, I'm just going to make do with whatever videos that I have in terms of pulling out little clips to keep the crowd happy. I'm just going to go with whatever I've got. I don't think I've got a Cardano one. I think I kind of failed on the Cardano TA. I've got like some other things, I guess. Hardly any liquidity on Icon in this. So that's the Nasdaq. That's what I'm looking at. Oh well, we came, we tried, we failed. ICX USDT. Let's just bring it up real quick. And what do I think of it? I think it's moved hugely over the period of the last couple of hours, and that, you know, there you go. What do I think about it? I think I'd wish I'd found out about it back over here, that rather than up here. It's gone up what, 30% in the last? It's gone up 40% in the last 4 hours or something. It's ridiculous. So I started streaming over here. The price of it went up 40%. Cool. Yep, as you can see, wonderful stuff. What do I think of it? I think it's very good. Clearly I've done TA on this in the past, and this is interesting because I've completely forgotten this coin. So let's bring it up and take a look at how things worked out with regards to the old-fashioned TA. I'll not do new TA on this one. I'll just like point it out. Okay, so we're up here at the 2.24. That's your next target, 142. Fantastic, we're almost there. I drew this in a long time ago. We did have previous Fibonacci retracements to be aware of. The 236 over here. Where did that come in from? Wonder when that drew it in. Wonder when I drew it in. Suppose I can kind of adjust this slightly and say in terms of where we are right now. So yeah, this is just actually, let's just drag it up there and kind of speculate to accumulate sort of thing. Oops, wrong. I don't even know what I'm doing. I should have gone ages ago. Sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to go. I'm not gonna do TA on this one. I'm too tired. If you donated to the channel and I've been guilted into doing it, it's a really good way to make me do TA when I can't be bothered, just to make me feel guilty, and then I'll do it anyway. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good method, but I don't feel guilty at all at the minute, so I'm not gonna. I mean, when I say I'm not gonna, I mean I'm sat here doing it, but I'm just not actually gonna explain anything that I'm doing or give you targets or any of that, I'm afraid. Wouldn't it be nice to something? Here's another one. Wouldn't it be nice to know the words? Because I don't. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to sing and then know the lyrics to the frickin' song? Oh, tiny wee bit left in the tank, but overall I'm looking. I'm not even doing it. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to do it. Sorry, buddy, you ain't getting it. That's all good. Yeah, 40% up. That's done wonderful. It's done wonderful stuff. That's all good. Anyway, tell you what. I gave out vibes as if in some way I had bitterness inside me and all this sort of stuff earlier on, when in actual fact there is an endless what was it infinite, there's the word, an infinite amount of love and appreciation for every single last one of you out there. I really genuinely appreciate it. Just turning up and watching the videos makes a huge difference. The fact that I've been able to form friends and a community off the back of providing quality content is wonderful, and I think it's a fantastic expression of the 21st century. I'm so glad to be alive these days and to have all of you as my friends out there, so I really do appreciate it, and I'm so over the moon delighted to find that, just, you know, as a result of talking about all this sort of stuff earlier on, that people actually did come forward, and I've now got 5 Patreons. If anybody else wants to become a patron over here on there, then you know the lyrics, you know where to go. It's patreon.com/rocky.outcrop. But in the meantime, I tell you what, I'm just going to read through the last thing and say hello to everybody that's tuned in, and then cheerio as well, because I gotta go. It seems like a good short call on ICX at the moment. You're right, Kevin, it does. It does, right? Okay, this is what when Tony said just say up or down, I was trying to say tiny bit up, quite possibly down thereafter. Nice to see this pushing up past the 40 zone, but I mean, all you're doing as a trader is I mean, your responsibility as a trader is to buy and sell risk. If you're looking at this, I've obviously drawn this in the wrong way round. But you get the point. You're looking at whatever, actually, I don't even care. You're looking at this having come up to these areas where it so often does turn around from. At the minute it looks fantastic, but that's because we're looking at that line right there and saying that if I were to short it, I'd be managing my risk on a short in there quite easily, probably. I mean, this is just a brief scan. Might even get a bit of the old FOMO on the short and short it slightly shy of that area just in case, because people likewise are looking to take profit, would quite likely be doing it slightly earlier. And where would I be looking to take profit on something like this? Will be so easy to just kind of aim down this direction with a general acceptance and tolerance of not going for the full thing if that was the case. And it's such an easy move to be had there on that one. Would I FOMO into something like this? No, I wouldn't. I learned lessons about not to do that well over a decade ago before I ever traded crypto. So I don't FOMO into crypto, never mind regular things. Hey, Dom, nice to have you here. I gave you a shout out earlier on, made some silly reference to do with Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if he was here, he could understand. Man, I remember you when I was under 1k subs. Yes, fantastic. On the way up. Thank you so much, by the way. I'm so glad to have you here. What time tomorrow? Are you talking about me tomorrow? I'll be back on Friday. If Friday, if in your time zone that's tomorrow, that's cool. I can't tell you. In my time zone, that's not tomorrow. That's the day after. It's actually 11 o'clock on Wednesday here where I am. And what time will we be back at? Well, no later than 8 p.m. I've started my streams before 8 p.m. UK time. Easy to find what UK time is if you're into crypto trading and you want to know what time it is in the UK. It's like, here's the time, like as in what time is it there? Oh, look at that, it's 11 o'clock. Oh, look at my watch. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Oh yeah. So if you want to know when I'll be back, Friday, no later than 8 p.m. But I want to try and push it a bit earlier and then not stay on as long as I have today, so that I can actually wrap up my streams and get the wee edited videos out and everything else. I mean, if you've noticed in recent times, in terms of the trying to put effort into the show, I don't think it tells you the exact time and date of publication of these things, the exact date. But if you've noticed recently, I've been up too late, too often, far too late. Now I am a night bird anyway and all the rest of it. Too late, too often. Though anyway, his last cap, I think it will do a 3-4x. Yeah, totally could. All-time high at $12. Is that on a different chart or something? Oh, it's on this chart. Where are we at the minute? No, it's not on this chart. Yeah, cool. I mean, totally could. There's absolutely. Look, by the way, when Kevin said earlier on, and for me, I said when I said it's a good shorting opportunity, it is, but I'm not saying short it to zero. You'll have noticed that I talked about a good short. Look, this is the difference between somebody who trades, okay, a lot on both sides of the market and other ones. Dia, yeah, it still looks interesting. It does look interesting. I think TradeSpot knows a lot about that, more than I do. For instance, a lot more than I do. Oh, I forgot to do all the stonks. I was going to do stonks. I even put them in my description. You're going to love Friday. Are you prepared? I'm prepared. You prepared? He's prepared. Good stuff, bro. Funny. Good stuff. Good stuff, Fisher. Okay, like, by the way, for everybody, for absolutely almost nobody in the audience here, but for the sake of being true to my word, again, another thing that you'll find about me is that I'm an honest guy. I'm authentic. I don't piss about. I don't lie. I swear too much, and I'm really trying hard to get over that. Turns out putting a dodge in the jar doesn't really impact me too much. We need to break above this here line 65.91 in terms of GME. We can see that the prices have dropped back down again to 50. They had a decent trading day today, having made it up to that line. They didn't break above it. This is showing us, showing us the way in terms of support and resistance currently. Quite clearly an important thing for us. Bringing up these oscillators down below in terms of the old game stop. How you doing? Now I'm going to personally get rid of this MACD signal and indicator line. TradeSpotting likes it. It's not my cup of tea. Funny that, isn't it? What with us being so brothers and whatever. But I would like to point out the fact that we have, of course, got. Now it's not like I can't use it. I tend to find that it's distracting overall in terms of talking about things. We have got this upwards sloping kind of thing here if you look back the way, but that's a deceptive picture for you. You'll find that it's kind of went down like that in between times, and then it went up and down. So actually, overall, I think that's maybe worth not looking at in the 15-minute time frame, for crying out loud. Too tired. Just pointing out the fact that we've got this massive hidden bullish divergence here. Very, 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 very stinking hidden bullish divergence. Now you can imagine why this sort of thing would happen. This is obviously to do with the moving averages and or whatever. This is RSI, so this is to do with your average true range essentially as well. And you can see it's on the go here. You can see here in terms of a collection of moving averages that, well, it's actually not got enough there. In terms of stochastics, now this is to do again with the differential in price from the highs and the lows. You can see all over the shop we've got hidden bullish divergence. So no matter what way you cut it or whatever, we've got hidden bullish divergence on the go. If we go up. Now if we don't go up, what does that turn into? It turns into the biggest, the lie of the century, and he just completely capitulates and whatever else. But we're here looking at it saying this is possible, this is possible. So what I'm looking to again is 65.59. Nice trading range today. Obviously doji candle, and it's showing us that it's looks like a rejection. A lot of people would characterize this as a rejection here, this candle, because it's got a big wick on it with this lower end down here. Now I'm actually going to show you that there's I would like to suggest that this is another form of that consolidation at resistance that I talked about on the .USDT chart earlier on, for instance. And this is showing us that with this big wick up the way, there is certainly the potential for us to at least fill out this zone with very, very, very little pain to do that in tomorrow's trading session. It'll be exciting to see if that can happen and we can actually push beyond that. It's a shame that it didn't happen today, but let's also be real about things. If things had happened today on that front, then we'd have been looking at things in a bit of a confused picture from a technical point of view. We're just coming in here for a lovely crossover with hidden bullish divergence on the stochastics, for instance, right down there in that oversold territory. We're seeing that on the no sure thing, that we're just trying to recover from a cross. We had the cross happen already yesterday is when that happened with this negative price action, so we're waiting for it to recover. It'd be strange to be breaking up the way while this is just crossed over, and that's kind of showing you that there was a little bit premature. You're going to find a lot of incredibly inexperienced traders, and I'm talking about incredible, as in you'd be like, I can't actually provide any credibility towards what that person is saying whenever they're doing their TA on this. Almost every single person I've seen on the internet, other than TradeSpotting, well done TradeSpotting, every single person I've seen doing one on GME has done the worst TA I've seen ever. Out of all the videos I've seen about 6 or 7 of them. It's been the worst TA I've ever seen. They just absolutely have got no clue what they're talking about whatsoever, and that includes even Roaring Kitty, who doesn't actually do TA on it. Now I love Roaring Kitty and that's fine and everything else, but it's just it's not, it just isn't. If you're into TA, which is what we're into on the channel here, then this is different. Okay, now again, Mitch Ray might have done TA on it. Probably has actually quite a few times, but I don't watch his channel, so I wouldn't know. He's probably done something decent, but I don't watch it, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, we're waiting for this to turn around. There is a good decent chance of it. If it doesn't, then hidden bullish divergence simply just becomes the lie of the century, and it could crash down the way. Overall, what we're looking at here on AMC, decent enough little day, I suppose. Again, same sort of scenario. Looking at this, the DMI, today's price action turned this from being a cross into a kiss. Perfect, right on the cusp. We're seeing here the stochastics haven't come down here, wanting to boil up for a turnover. Now you're not getting that hidden bullish divergence on the daily time frame like you are on GME, but then again, that's okay. Likewise on RSI, yeah, you're not getting that hidden bullish divergence necessarily. Well, well, categorically you're not. But okay, various things in here at the neutral line. Could we turn it around at this point? We absolutely could. Things won't start to get exciting until we've pushed above that point, and that is actually pushing above 790. Looking over here at 513 as a decent enough kind of entry area should we need to go in and fill in that gap. As we can see here in today's price action, we haven't actually done that. In many senses, kind of close enough is close enough with regards to this gap here. Now, I know that I don't talk about things as being close enough is close enough with a gap, but when it comes down to pennies between the difference of it being filled, then there's an argument to be made for it. Especially in stonk land where things are a little bit less kind of mechanical than they are in crypto land, where things are traded far, like, really heavy proportion of traders in crypto land are robots, or at least act like robots in their trading. Big stinking gap up above that we're looking towards. I'd love to see the prices taken at 788. I saw the Making Money family, Making Money, a guy who does YouTube videos called Making Money, really nice guy. I was chatting to him in his stream. He's Israeli. He's not a very good trader. He's more of an investor though, but he acts like a trader. He bought more at $8, right? And he bought more somewhere, I don't know, and he's brought his average entry price into $8 and he's happy with it. We're of course, nearly 50% down from there, 30% down from there. It's not something to be happy about. If we crash down below $5, then things are really awful. I'll be closing out all the trades that I have at that point, bearing in mind that on my trade on AMC I actually got in there at $5.48. It's not like me to talk about what prices I bought things at, so that means that I actually need to stop talking immediately. I've already broken one of my cardinal rules. I will never do that ever again. So sorry about that. I'm going to back away now, and in fact, just go, right? Cool. Right. Oh, Swisher, your quality. Thank you, Swisher. Yeah, thank you, Swisher. That's fantastic. I'm never going to do. I agree. Terrible TA. What about the guy Moneymaker or something, or just everybody? Yeah, everybody. I mean, yeah, right. Cool. Let me just give everybody here a really big thank you. Animation Dude, wanna meet Greg. Animation Dude, I see you've got a name which signals to me that you might have a YouTube channel, right? Not only do I not mind people coming along here and talking about their YouTube, because I know how hard it is to succeed at YouTube. I know how hard it is. But I actually like giving people shout outs. And if you're Animation Dude, if this is your channel that I'm about to look up, and you're doing stuff which is creative and all the rest of it, then let me see, what's your thumbnail, what's your picture look like? White and red. I don't see you on here. I don't see it. If you've got a YouTube channel, let me know. I'll look it up. I'll play one of your wee animations to sort of see us out for the show, okay? So that people can know. I just let me know if you have one or not. Dom Underhill, thank you so much. I've been in and out of Dia, I don't know how you say it. Looks like it's getting some more volume in. Announced they were integrating with Binance Smart Chart today, I think. Smart contract, smart chain, whatever. Ocean has been gaining nicely too the last few days. Yes, it has been. Remember, if you want to make money as a bear in a bull market, you have to be a very, very, very smart one. It's far easier to make money as a stupid bull than a smart bear, so just be careful with what you're doing. That chat that I had earlier on with regards to that short is something that I wouldn't recommend anybody take on. Don't try this at home type of thing. Okie doke. Nice one. Times are different depending on the days. Prep trading he's been doing always before 11:59 p.m. lols. Yeah, totally. Nice one. Good summary there. It is, yeah, pretty good record at getting in there before 11:59. Ventilus, GN dudes and dudettes, work tomorrow for me. Have a great evening. Good night, my friend. Thank you so much. By the way, Hilas Cap, it was nice chatting to you here. If this is your first time joining us, be sure to drop a subscribe, or maybe even a like, or maybe both. That'd be cool if you did. And let me just give everybody here who's tuned in for the funnily enough, third stream of today, another little shout out, just so that you know just how much I gosh darn like you. If you want to get any comments in there before I tune out, make sure you do it now. Animation Dude, have you disappeared? Maybe you've left here. Maybe you've left, and in which case, sad times, because I was going to give your YouTube channel a shout out if you've got one, and if you don't, it looks like somebody else is getting a shout out. Honestly, I can't see your logo. looks like your logo might be a whiskey bottle label. Well, it ain't happening, right? It ain't happening. Unless you give me a link in the chat, in which case I'll give you an absolutely full-on shout-out. Okay. Dan Anthony, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you tomorrow. Sikila. Yeah, you're a legend. Thank you so much for coming back again. Many people remember me from below 1k subs because, you know, like, that are here right now. For instance, Kevin, he knows me from 1k subs. Tony, he knows me from below 1k subs. TradeSpot knows me from below 1k subs. Maybe Dom Underhill might know me from 1k subs as well. I'm not 100% sure. Artie Pyle, I'd love to know Artie Pyle when you actually started watching the channel as well. You know, there's so many, like, whatever though, it's all good. Lots of people here are fantastic, and there'd be so many people who feel the FOMO, you know, or the regret at least in the future. Whenever they see that there's 50,000, if they're the 50,000th person to subscribe to the channel, and the entire time they've been like watching other people, instead of tuning in here to Kitch Ray, then they'll regret it. I swear to goodness they will. They'll wish they'd been here the whole time. Kevin, thank you so much again for tuning in. TradeSpot, thank you for tuning in. Tony Wright, it's always a pleasure. You're such a nice guy. Say hi to your mum for me sometime. Rufflecopter says wash wash wash, great name, love it, super hilarious. K-Doc, thanks for tuning in again, really do appreciate you tuning in tonight. Alex Djukorovich, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night as well. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Let me see, Kron BDC, yes, you tuned in earlier on, but not happening, I'm afraid. Can't believe this stream's been another hour. This is ridiculous what I've done to myself. This is ridiculous. Ventilus, thank you so much. It's a small cap gem many don't know about. That's interesting. So that was a little shout out to a little coin that Ventilus gave earlier on. For instance, I think that was the Hedge DAO. So interesting stuff there. People can look into that. We've got Artie Pyle again, thank you so much. Tony is the guy, incredible. I'm a big blues guy. Yes, see, that was that chat from earlier on. My God, this has been too long. And I mentioned, dude, yeah, I never heard back from you, so you're not getting a shout out, or you're not getting a link to your channel on the show. Well, your loss is my 5 minutes of wasted time loss. Yes, right. There's a few I'd love to meet in this community. I won't mention names in case I miss someone, but I think when this COVID stuff finishes, 10 of us should book a hotel and have a trading weekend. Separate rooms, I'm afraid, not into that sort of thing. Yeah. Brilliant, fantastic. I don't want to sell you short either, my friend. I've learned a wealth from your videos as well. That's talking Artie Pyle talking to TradeSpot in there. Everybody can go check out TradeSpot's channel. He puts a lot of effort into his videos, and I think they're very good. I like them. Of course, I'm biased, but nevertheless. Rocky, I spent a lot of time watching before speaking. It was well before the 1k sub mark. I suspected it was. You know, I actually, you know, I suspected it was. So anyway, well, I mean, that's it, right, Artie? I mean, you know, anybody who tuned in to me. Let's do it. Let's just, like, last couple of minutes in the show, right? Last couple of minutes in the show. Right, stream. Good day. Good day, mate. It's good to have you here. How am I going to get back far enough in time? How am I going to do it to get back? At this stage, it's easier for me to sort them in reverse order and then skip forward. Let's do this. Let's do it. Do it. Where are we here? Where's Friday the 13th of March? Friday the 13th of March. Where are you? Now, I think it was this one. I think it was this date. It could have been the 14th. I mean, I look back at it and talk about it like it's the 13th, but I mean, in all honesty, I mean, how do we know? Bitcoin USDT. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up. 68 views, people. 68 views. Where's my chat about? Where's my chat? That was actually really quite good, that, eh? I quite like that. Quite like that. Gonna have to get the green screen back on the go again, eh? Gonna have to. Where's my chat about music, though? Because it's... Oh. Right, okay. So, nice one. Take it away, Rocky. Right. And I'm feeling good. But but ba-da-da-da-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum. Do-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dum. This is that video, and I was feeling good. Da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum, da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum. Anyway, I'm not sure however many other people out there were doing that sort of a thing at the time, but that was one of them for the people who remember back in the daisies. So what else do we have here from back in the daisies as a sort of little walk down memory lane? I mean, literally, you can go to any time in the... I mean, let's just do one at random. Let's just skip in a bunch. And I mean, wasn't that amazing? I don't know if it was amazing. I don't know if it was amazing to any of you out there, but I've certainly watched enough TA on the internet to think that my own opinion of it is fairly valid without being too subjective and you know, up myself or whatever. Or shall we do this a different way? In fact, shall we go? Shall we say? Shall we choose a time? Do we want to like? What about? Do we want to choose a time in here, or do we want to choose a time in here, or do we want to? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just choose a random video. This one here that happens to be up. Bitcoin TA. What did I say? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. How many views did I get first off? 96 views. That's pretty amazing, actually. It's pretty amazing. Pretty good for my standard. It's going to be hard to find a point from this. Okay, cool. So an upward trend, you have to respect that as is the case. Fantastic. That's good enough for me. Bit of Shakespearean TA. I don't know. I probably said some good stuff back then. Anyway, I've been out here putting out content all the time. Stuff, right? Anyway. I care deeply about your success. Let's come back on Friday and get some more of it. Thank you to every single one of you that's tuned in. I've been Rocky Outcrop. I appreciate you hitting the like button, and I'll see you again next time. See you in the Discord, by the way, if you want to chit chat. You can contact me directly as well there. At some point in the future, I'll be far too busy to be able to do that. I'll ban outright everybody from being able to do that, okay? Just as a sort of heads up, because I'll have to manage it. But for now, I'm there, and I really think you're all fantastic for tuning in. Really, really do. So... yeah, cool. Not missed anything too much. Good night, Tony. Good night, Artie. Trey. Good night, Jimmy. Good night, Bite Stream. Or good morning to you, actually, to be honest with you. Good night, Kevin. Good night, Swisher. Good night, Skilla. Good night, Dom. Good night, Animation Dude, the guy that didn't get the shout out for his channel that could have done. Good night, Hillas. Cheers for tuning in, Dan. Good night to you too. I just don't want to miss anybody here. Good night, Ventilus. Good night, K-Doc. Good night, Manuel. Good night, No Guild FF. Good night, Alex. Good night, Rufflecop.